Has the music stopped? All right. Good morning and welcome, everybody. Thank you. Hey, my name is Elisa. I'm going to be your MC today. Thank you. I apologize if my voice is a little husky. You would think that allergies end with the summertime, but no. And it's not like I can fake it. I presented last week and be like, this is my real voice. Anyway, I'm pleased to welcome those here in our community center and those joining us on Facebook Live and YouTube to Kansas City Oasis. Since 2014, Oasis has been the premier secular alternative to faith-based communities. We welcome all regardless of beliefs or non-belief, race, gender, sexual orientation, identity, or any other trait. We feel the human experience is better when it is shared, and we are so pleased that you have chosen to share it with us this morning. Here at Oasis, we gather around our 5 core values, which are: people are more important than beliefs, reality is known through reason, human hands solve human problems, meaning comes from making a difference, be accepting, and be accepted. Our advertised speaker for today got delayed in airline travel, unfortunately. We'll have an alternate presentation today. So today we've got our featured speaker is going to be Julie Samuel-Lamberd for community check-in. Our musical guest today, Tom Trashmouth Baker. And I'm so sorry, is it Beisman? Thank you, you know. And our community moment will be given by Will Manning. So without further ado, please give a warm Oasis welcome back to Tom Baker and Jim, I'm so sorry, Beisman. Beisman, you said it. It was...
It's a gas to see all y'all. How you doing? Yes. All right, we're going to have a little Kansas City history lesson here, baby. You know, there used to be this guy down at a place called the Reno Club. He would tend the bar, and he would sing the blues, and he was large and in charge. I'm referring to the one and only Mr. Joe Turner. Here's one of his classics, slightly redone by my friend Mr. J.B. Law. This one called Cherry Red. Well, run, yeah, pretty mama, sit down on your daddy's knee. I'm gonna tell everybody how you been sending me. Now, baby, if that's your secret, ooh, woman, you better keep it to yourself. 'Cause if you told me, I might tell somebody else. Never been married. I doubt that I ever will. That's a loving proposition. probably get somebody killed. Well, jump me, mama. Jump me in your big breast bed. Rock me, pretty baby, till my face turns cherry red. I'm gonna say bye, baby. Bye. Ain't gonna say it no more. So long, baby. Down the road I go. Take 'em home, JB. What you call radiating the 88, y'all. Jim Beisman. Thank you so much. Oh, baby. We're going to do another one. A cat that used to come to Kansas City by the name of Jimmy Witherspoon used to do this tune. It was originally done by the great Amos Milburn and his Aladdin Chicken Shackers. Stay tuned. There'll be an examination later. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a tune about the demon alcohol. That's right. I mean the evils of bad, bad whiskey. promised I would think and try and stay real sober, and that I wouldn't drink. But that bad, bad whiskey, bad, bad whiskey, that bad, bad whiskey made me lose my happy home. Made me lose my happy home. Look here. I passed up all the pool halls, gave the boys a slip. Before the night was over, I started in to sip that bad, bad whiskey. Bad, bad whiskey. That bad, bad whiskey made me lose my happy home. Made me lose my happy home. Oh, somebody help me out now. Ooh, my buddy had a party. The cats was on the loose. We started out with soda and ended up on juice in that bad, bad whiskey. Bad, bad whiskey. That bad, bad whiskey made me lose my happy home. Made me lose my happy home. Now look here. My baby's gone and left me. Man, I feel so bad, 'cause the blues has got me. And I got a hold of some bad, I mean bad, bad whiskey. Bad, bad whiskey. That bad, bad whiskey made me lose my happy home. Made me lose my happy home. It's like this, people. I can't get no thrill without my cabin still. And life gets awful scary when you run out of old library. I know I have been had when there ain't no more old granddad. Can't get up and go unless I got some old crow. I'm talking about that stuff they put in the grocery cart at the bottom of the grocery cart. That's $2.99 a bit. When you open it up, something comes out. And that something comes out, it's usually your brain, because you've been drinking bad, bad whiskey. Bad, bad whiskey. Bad, bad whiskey made me lose my happy home. Made me lose made me lose my happy home. Thank y'all so much. We'll be back with some more blues later.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. If any of you guys were not moving, I admire your restraint. All right. So we have a couple birthdays this week, just a few, like last week we had so many. So these are extra special now. We've got September 17th, Adrian Anderson. Yes! Happy birthday, Adrian. And then the 19th, we've got Terry Allen. And also we've got happy anniversary on September 16th, Kevin Lambert and Julia Samuel-Lamberd. All right. Congratulations. And then does anyone have a birthday or celebration this week that I did not just mention? Yeah? Yesterday was a birthday? Yeah, happy birthday! Oh my gosh! Hello, what's your name? I'm sorry. I'm like, well, I asked that question at the wrong time. Do you say, Kitty? Yes. Well, happy birthday, Kitty. All right. And then, does anyone have something to celebrate? Let us know. Need some assistance in difficult times? Let us know. Talk to someone in a yellow name tag so we can celebrate and support you. We are a community. And then, let's give a big round of applause for our volunteers of the week. Do you enjoy having coffee every week? Thank these humans and their hands who arrive very early to brew the coffee and mix other drinks. Adrian Anderson, who I just said had a birthday, and then she's still making coffee. We've got Jill Beals, Jean Ancoons, and the new member of the coffee team, Yvonne Melody. So give it up! Oh my gosh! Woo-hoo. Oh, and then Sunday volunteer tasks. We're always looking for more volunteers to round out our committees and to assist with our weekly Sunday gatherings. In the lobby near the drink station, you'll see these boxes. Please pick a card during coffee break or after a meeting that you can help with from the Need Help box. When you complete the task, place it in the All Done. Please don't get those two confused. You're going to make life so much harder for yourself. Blue cards are intended for weekly tasks. White cards for monthly tasks. So yeah, if you love this secular community, help us out, keep it going. And again, those little cards, they have like the smallest things on them. You take it out and like you can knock it out so fast. And then, last chance. Boy, that's always important. Last chance to sign up for a fall community group is today. Oasis hosts small groups in the spring and fall. These 6-week bi-weekly meetings have discussions on a wide range of topics to get to know others better and closer friendships. Meetings begin the week of September 21st. The sign-up link is on our kcoasis.org website, the Facebook private group, or this QR code. This QR code will also be in the slideshow in the lobby during the coffee break. Oh, and then Wednesday, September 17th, is the second anniversary of us hosting our Sunday gatherings in this Kansas City Oasis Community Center. So happy early anniversary for everyone who helped make this dream a reality. Oh, and this Thursday, September 18th, is an open mic night at the Fillmore Cafe, coffee shop and bar in Unity Village. Listen to the variety of talent performing or sign up to perform. Sign up begins at 5:45, and I'm assuming that's today, 5:45. I'm like, nope, it's not. Sign up at, okay. So no pressure. Don't be sweating like, oh wait, today? And then this month's game night is on Thursday, September 25th. Come join us from 7 to 9 p.m. Do please bring your own games. If you don't want to bring your games, bring your game anyway and be like, can we play something else? I promise you there will be enough. Friday, September 26th, night after, is Pop-Up Swing Night. The first 30 minutes is an East Coast swing dance class for beginners, then an open dance from 8 to 10 p.m. We don't care if you have ever been dancing for years or have never set foot on a dance floor. The entrance fee is $10. Dress how you want, embrace an era, or show up in sweats. We just want you to enjoy your night. Then on Saturday, the 27th, so going like next day, you can just knock all these out. Join us for an afternoon of great music from Erica McKenzie, the one-woman band at KC Wine Company in Olathe from 2 to 5 p.m. And I want to say, if you were suddenly distracted by KC has a wine company, look up Erica McKenzie. Like, she has really cool stuff. It's like, I was like, wait, what is that? Okay, yeah, no. And then on the last Monday of the month, join us for the monthly Monday musical. Bring your own food and drink and comfy seating. We will start the movie at 6 p.m. This month is The Music Man. And then if you want to follow us on social media, these are the places you can find us. We've got YouTube, we've got Instagram, we've got Facebook, and we now have Blue Sky. Ha-ha. And then at last, we have today's community moment. For today's community moment, we will hear from Will Manning. The 3 words to describe themselves are nerdy, hyper-focused, amalgam. And our warning label is tend to make things harder than they need to be. So, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, less enthusiasm, please. All right, I got a clicker here. So I want to take you back to 2004. So 2004 was when all these things happened. The Motorola released this little flip phone. Outkast made Hey Ya, and this juggernaut got released to the public, but I'm not going to talk about this one. This thing is a similar game that I loved for years. It was called City of Heroes. It was an MMO, and it did a lot of things right, and I felt like the game industry didn't learn a lot of lessons that this game learned, and a lot of things about this game never got continued. It's kind of sad. So City of Heroes was a superhero-themed game where you could pick out your costume and fly around a city and do heroic things and beat up bad guys. It was very team-focused, so you yourself was not the only thing that was needed. You found a role in a team, and it really focused on long gaming sessions where you were dependent upon your fellow humans to do the job that you wanted to do, and it was a lot of fun. So one of the famous things about it was its character creator. It let you make almost anything you wanted in your brain. You could make it realized. So much so that this game company got sued by Marvel. Marvel ended up suing NCSoft, which was a South Korean publisher. City of Heroes was produced by a California company, and they had this weird arrangement that the California company would make the game, but the Korean company ran the servers and did all the marketing and the physical publishing, because back then you actually had to go to a store and buy discs. Weird world. But the character creator was so elaborate that you could literally go in, make a character that looked a lot like Iron Man and play that way. And that's kind of why they got sued. But the Marvel lawsuit was kind of BS, and they knew it because they weren't losing money in any way. It was other players that signed a tremendous NDA, and the lawsuit, it came out that there was actually Marvel employees that were logging into the City of Heroes game and generating the characters that were IP theft. It was quite a strange lawsuit. And what was weirder was, after the lawsuit was over, the California game studio, Cryptic Studios that made City of Heroes, they made an arrangement with Marvel to make a superhero MMO. How do you leave a lawsuit with a game agreement? The project that was created out of that union after a lawsuit never came to fruition. We never got a Cryptic Studios MMO, but they did have to break up the studio. The California studio, they broke off a piece of it, gave it to the publisher in South Korea, NCSoft, and they ran the game for years. So they had a few expansions that came out, and like a lot of things in life, they made a lot of money in the beginning, and they're starting to make less money as time goes on. Even though the game saw like 8 years of active development, they released expansions. People are loving the game in America, but the game didn't really work in South Korea. Now this South Korean company had this thing that wasn't the most profitable, and it wasn't successful in South Korea. They just didn't care about it as much anymore. Even though it was making money, they decided to shut it down. They just in a month, we're going to turn off the servers, this game that you've loved and paid for. And it was really sad for a lot of people. So I was not a part of this group of people that were logging in just for saying goodbye to the game, but hundreds of thousands of people were. And it was really sad. For 6 years, we didn't have access to the game. And there were rumors of a rogue server, a private server that wasn't free to the public. Somehow the server code got released to the public. a bunch of rogue servers got spun up, and people could play the game again, but it was like the threat of NCSoft, the South Korean company, could come in at any time and shut it all down because it wasn't licensed. Somehow, oh, I forgot to say this other thing. I'm going to rewind a little bit. So when they were in the process of shutting City of Heroes down, the old California studio was in negotiations to try to buy back the intellectual property rights so they could run it. The fans raised a Kickstarter of $160,000 to get a group to then try to buy it, the IP, and to run it. And the publisher was like, no, we don't care about you. That was typically the only thing that we felt out of them. So fast forward 6 years later, somehow the City of Heroes Homecoming rogue server group got officially licensed by NCSoft. This is unprecedented. It doesn't tend to be that a community-led rogue server group gets officially licensed by the original publisher. And that's where we're in the status of today. We can play this game again. A lot of people love it, and it's great. It routinely gets 4,000, if you add them all together, active users daily, which is pretty impressive for a nearly dead 40-year-old game. And the weirdest thing is the Homecoming server group is still in active development, making new parts of the game for the people that love this game. It's really unprecedented. And now I'm going to change gears. I'm going to talk about a different game. And this game is Wolcen, which, now that I see it up there, it's not a very good picture. At any rate, different game story entirely. This was a game studio. It was their first game ever, and game companies don't tend to release great games on their first game. They were in active development for years, and everyone was watching from a distance and saying, oh, this game looks fabulous, it looks great. But we were surprised when they just almost like released it out of nowhere. They didn't like have a lot of preamble to the fact that they're releasing. Well, it turns out this game studio was facing one thing. We either need to release or we need to shut down because there's not enough money left in the right places. And they released a unfinished product that was a buggy mess. And it was not beloved. It was panned. It was terrible. And they tried for years to keep working on it, to make it better. And it got better, but not great. They didn't start with a great foundation. But they eventually also decided to shut the servers down, and it was another game where you had to log on to their servers to play. But they decided to make an offline version of the game so that your computer had everything to fully run the game by yourself. You couldn't do multiplayer anymore, but you still had access to the game that you published. So the reason I tell you these two stories is because of this next thing, and that is a European led organization called the Stop Killing Games Movement. What they're asking for is, they're trying to change European law such that game studios have to think about what's going to happen to this game at the end of its life. Because the two stories that I just mentioned, City of Heroes and Wolcen, were kind of happy endings. People can still play the games that they bought. But there are dozens and dozens of games that were beloved that people have lost access to because game companies decided they're just not profitable enough, or like we want to spend our energy in other places. So they're not asking for a lot. They're just saying, be willing to give us an offline game, be willing to turn the code over to other people to run the server, and think about this while you're in development about how it's going to end. And a lot of really big companies are extremely against this movement for whatever reason. So it's almost like if you look at the people that are just, sucking money out of the system, often. And now, I think that if you read more about it, you'll see that the demands that Stop Killing Games is asking for EU legislation to change is not big. But these people are making it seem like it's a huge deal. But one of the reasons why I say this also is because if you've got a new iPhone and it's got a USB-C charger on it, you can thank EU legislation for that, because Apple essentially didn't want to make a phone for Europe and a phone for America. So the efforts of the European Stop Killing Games movement is probably going to shape the industry that we feel in America too. And I just wanted to tell you guys about it today. And thank you for listening about one of my favorite games, City of Heroes.
This makes me so sad. I'm sorry, I was like, Roblox, obviously, but Ubisoft and Square Enix? Come on. No. We gotta talk No Man's Sky sometime. All right, everybody. Thank you again, Will, so much for your presentation. Right now, we're gonna go to our coffee break. During the coffee break, be sure to introduce yourself to someone you don't know. See the TV over the center doors for more upcoming events and information. And we'll see you back here in 20 minutes. you. All right. Welcome back, everybody. I hope we're feeling the caffeine now. And then, if you would, let's welcome back, I really want to say Trashmouth. I'm sorry. Tom Trashmouth Baker and Jim Beisman.
Go on a little trip to West Memphis, Arkansas. There's a cat down there by the name of Herman Parker Jr. We know him in the blues world as Little Junior Parker. There's one of his called Next Time You See Me. Next time you see me, things won't be the same. Next time you see me, things won't be the same. And if it hurt you, my darling, you only have yourself to blame. Like a true saying, all that shine is not gold. Like a true saying, all that shine is not gold. And like the good book said, you got to reap just what you sow. Look at it. Well, you lied, cheated, for so long. Well, you lied, cheated, for so long. You're just a wrongdoing woman. Another queen is on your throne. You lied, cheated, for so long. Well, you lied, cheated, for so long. You're just a wrongdoing woman. Another queen is on your throne. Next time you see me, things won't be the same. Next time you see me, things won't be the same. And if it hurt you, my darling, you only have yourself to blame. And farmer said, you got to reap just what you sow. Well, you got the wrong doing, woman. Another queen is on your throne. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Little Junior Parker. Mm-hmm. You know, little Junior Parker at one time had the great Hammond organ player Jimmy McGriff playing with him. Yeah. Mm-mm. You ever get a chance to hear that, baby? Uh-huh. Yeah. All right, we're going to take you up to Chicago now. Some of you that know me know I got the privilege of getting to open up for the great Muddy Waters back in the early 80s. Thanks to the graces of my friends, the great blues band Colt 45. What a great show. As we're walking down, we're walking by Muddy's dressing room. Hey, y'all sound good. You want a beer? Guess where I went? Here's one that came out on a record called Fathers and Sons, which featured the great Paul Butterfield on harmonica, Donald Duck Dunn on bass, Sam Lay on drums, Michael Bloomfield on guitar, Otis Spann, my man, on piano, and Mud. This is called The Same Thing. 2, 3. What make men go crazy over a woman with her dress so tight? What make a man go crazy over a woman with her dress so tight? But be the same old thing that made a tomcat fight all night. Why do all you men try to run a big leg woman down? Why do all you men try to run a big leg woman down? Must be the same old thing what made a bulldog of a hound. All that same thing. All that same thing. Tell me who is to blame? The whole world fighting about that same thing. Come here, lay it on me, JB. make you feel so good when your baby get her evening gown? What make you feel so good when your baby get her evening gown? Must be the same old thing what made a preacher lay his Bible down. Oh, that same thing. Oh, that same thing. Tell me who is to blame? The whole world fighting about that same thing. From the great Muddy Waters, thank you.
Thank you guys again. Once again, I don't think I said this before. I need to tell you guys, accepting cash tips right here. All right. Oh, and before I even get to the speaker disclaimer, I'm gonna pass this around for you guys. So these are gonna be some of our, our little help out tabs. I'm gonna take one right here. Sweep the main room. So if you guys want to help me out, make sure that we don't leave any coffee or anything around. And I'm going to pass this. I'm going to pass it here. Okay. There you go. Thank you, guys. All right. So we're going to, our featured speaker today, Julie Samuel-Lamberd. Speaker disclaimer, our program is designed to generate conversation and engage our powers of reason, not as a forum to start debates. The following presentation has been prepared by our speaker, not by Casey Oasis. Please respect the views of our speaker, and if you have any questions, a Q&A portion will follow. So then Julie,
oh, what a cute picture. Thanks, whoever picked that out.
So Julie Samuel-Lamberd, if you guys somehow don't know, is a longtime member of Kansas City Oasis and acting treasurer. Julie loves to travel, grow things, and learn something new every day. Please welcome Julie.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm as surprised as you are to see me here this morning. Not really. Shanice gave me some heads up warning. Back in the bad old days, during COVID, we worked really hard for 100 weeks to keep this community going via Zoom. Who was here during that part? Woo! And you know what would happen sometimes when we didn't have a featured speaker? We couldn't get anybody, or they didn't show up at the last minute. We would do a community check-in. So that's what we're going to do today. I feel like we're in another super challenging time, both nationally and locally. And while this will then reflect my views and not the views of Kansas City Oasis, so this might delve into politics a little bit, which is something we do not endorse specific candidates as a 501c3, but it has to be on everybody's mind right now, some of the things that are going on. So we're going to talk a little bit about how it's okay to have those feelings, the overlap between community and communication, and that's kind of what I was thinking about when I wanted to talk to you all today. There's going to be a lot of audience participation. I'm not going to go through this alone. This is going to be you and me together. So let's start by talking about a couple of words, again, that share a lineage. I'm a fan of etymology. I like knowing where words came from. So it's kind of it's easy to see directly where the words community and communication come from. They both come from a Latin root meaning common, not as in typical, but common as in shared. So we're talking about the ideas of togetherness, mutual participation among individuals. Some words that kind of go along with that, and you can see that will connect these things, are connection, interaction, collaboration, support, and engagement. So when we think about connection, a community is a group of individuals that have some common interests, at least, or values. You see our values here. There are common values that that resonate with us. And through communication, that's how we connect and share that information and those ideas. And if you know me, the emotions that go along with that. If I get through this without crying, we all know that is always an unusual day for me to not cry about stuff. But it's because I care. Then we think about interaction. Communication is essential for building and maintaining a community, or really any positive relationship that we have. We have to have understanding and collaboration among our members, and that is fueled through communication again. We thrive on our collective efforts. Everything from, it takes collective efforts to do the chores that need to be done around here. We're a completely volunteer-run and donation-funded organization. So that's a means of collaboration communicated through these beautiful little cards that tell us how we can help out. And finally, support and engagement. Both concepts of community and communication are grounded in support and engagement. Communities provide a support network. I was talking to a new friend this morning and thinking about former communities that I was in and had to leave, and what I really missed was that connection and that feeling of support and just having the knowledge that if I needed somewhere to go, that place existed. And so I think that's one of the big important things about our community. So with that, we'll go to a little slide about communication. Communication being key, that we should communicate often, and then sort of at various times, there might be even more importance to communicating. When we have concerns, when we have questions, when we need help, or when we have joy or successes. And those are all the sorts of things that we try to build into the programming here. You know, we encourage asking questions. We encourage people to ask for help. And we try to be proactive when we see that someone could use some help. We try to communicate with each other and let each other know that maybe someone's going through a challenging time and it's difficult for them to ask for help, but that we're here to provide that. And then communicating when you have joy or successes. I think back to 2 years ago. You know, it brings a lot of joy to my heart to see that 2 years in, here we are. It hasn't been easy to open our own community center and have a full-time home. It's taken a lot of sweat equity, a lot of generous contributions from our community, but it's a success. So I think it's important to celebrate our wins too. So here comes your part of this. Next is a set of questions, circa 2021, and I think maybe we'll adapt them a little bit as we go on today. But this was a community check-in that I hosted in 2021, and this is sort of how the format works. We ask a question, and anyone that's willing to chat about their feelings on these things are welcome to do so. We'll keep the camera pointed up here so that if anyone wants to share but doesn't feel comfortable being on camera, that's perfectly fine. We'll hear your lovely voice and your feelings without being on camera. So if you had to describe how you're feeling right now as a weather pattern, what's your forecast? Okay. Lisa, if you can help me out.
Coming storm.
Yeah.
So as you all know, both of my kids are transgender.
Yes, my dear.
So it's a scary time.
Yes.
And I'm always kind of waiting for it to start.
Agreed. Very valid.
Overcast skies.
Yeah. And David, what makes you, if you're willing to share, what makes you feel like that?
Well, recent events,
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk's assassination, and all
Yes.
the blathering by the right-wingers about his death.
Yes.
Sort of like they're trying to make him to a horsed vessel.
Correct. Yeah. Not correct. Your feelings are your feelings. I feel the same way, is what I should say about that. I know that for many of us, I feel like kind of the last time, being a Gen X person, the last time I felt like there was political violence in this country, it was really, I guess maybe when President Reagan was shot. Does that seem right for people my age? But I know that there's many of us here that lived in a time where assassinations and political violence were the order of the day, unfortunately, during the civil rights era. And I don't know if you feel that same sort of tension now. I don't know if anybody would want to share anything about that. Oh, Denise back here, Lisa, please.
Well, I'm kind of skipping back.
Yeah, fair.
Because someone else said something that made me think, I do feel like it's very stormy. Who knows, hurricanes, all sorts of stuff going on. But I'm kind of on the outside watching it. I know as an older white woman,
Right.
I'm not in the danger that a lot of my friends are. But I do get inspiration, like several of my friends, which are Oasis people almost always, go to rallies or protests.
Yeah.
And there you get to see that you are not alone, not even outside of Oasis. There are a lot of people who are fighting for our friends along with our friends. So we were in Jeff City, and I ran into 7 different people I knew that didn't go with us. So that inspires me, and it makes me know that even my friends that are in the storm aren't there by themselves.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about, something that this era and the civil rights era had in common is the attempts to disenfranchise people and to make it so that our views are unrepresented. That is some attempts that are happening in the Missouri legislature. Again, these are my personal opinions. That not at all in the same degree as being a white woman that has that privilege, but that feeling and seeing our friends in the Black and brown community say, this is the same playbook, just a new spin on it, because they have felt that disenfranchisement. But I think it's good for us to remember that people do weather storms, but not without sometimes big losses that come with that. So we just need to be mindful of that and mindful of our friends and those we support that are less fortunate than we are. Does anyone else have any thoughts about their weather, how they're feeling, the forecast? Okay. So me being me, we'll move on to a few things that are a little more positive. What's something that you're looking forward to and why? Aiden?
I'm looking forward to what will hopefully be, if all goes right, my last year at college.
Okay, congratulations. Okay, stay just a second. Can you talk to us about what you're studying, what you're up to, Aiden?
It's just an associate's. I may go back to school at some point, associate of liberal arts. It helps get all the gen ed crap out of the way.
Yeah.
But right now I only have like one proper class that I absolutely need to complete, and all the other stuff is just required electives.
Nice. Congratulations. I was somebody that went back to school in my 40s, and I really I remember that day when I got to the point where I'm like, whew, I got all my gen eds out of the way. Now I got to figure out what I want to be when I grow up at 42. But okay, it's exciting. We're so happy for you. And let us know when you get finished, all right, so we can have cupcakes or something. Kitty?
On the note of that, I am actually in the middle of my first semester at college.
Okay. Yeah.
And I found out yesterday on my birthday that I passed my state exams, and I'm now registered CNA.
All right. Congratulations.
And I'm very much looking forward to finishing my prereqs and applying to the nursing program at MCC by 2027.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay. Oop.
I am looking forward to traveling to Wichita Oasis next month. Apparently, they're going to have Forrest Valkai again over there.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to attend the FFRF National Convention also next month. And
Okay.
I think it's so important that we network with other secular people.
Okay. So, Freedom from Religion Foundation, right? Freedom from Religion Foundation. Okay, great. And Forrest Valkai, who was, I think, here for our anniversary this year, back in April. So you'll get a...
April 6th, yeah.
Oh, April 6th. Okay, so I know David was interested in seeing if anybody wanted to road trip over to Wichita for that, so you might chat with him and make those arrangements if you'd like to see Forrest again. Okay, thank you, David. All right. I think you're going to get there eventually, Sarah. There's a lot of happy people sharing things.
Oh, hi. I'm just really looking forward to like the social gatherings, outings at Oasis. Just allows us to get to know each other better,
Yeah.
become new friends, support each other, during difficult times.
Yes. Thank you, Tim. So, okay, back to an announcement earlier about this being the last day to sign up for community groups. Who has been in a community group before? Oh, boy. So, if you have not, if you want to talk about deeper connections and deeper communication with your fellow like-minded people, that to me is the best place to do it. I know that I don't think I ever really felt as connected until I was in my first community group, because then I knew on Sunday if I came in and was feeling introverted, that never happened. Wait a minute, I'm making up stuff. Anyway, it was nice to see people I knew that I had already talked with that week. And I think about even just the measure of time when I first joined that community group. It was a kid-friendly group, and there was one of our members that was expecting her second child, which is now a third grader. So it's just interesting to have those connections with people as they go through the different stages of their life. We have like Julie Manning's daughter off to high school, all these various things, or is it her last year of middle school? She's not. First year high school, right? Yeah. But it's just amazing to watch other little humans after you've done your parenting thing, to watch all these other little humans grow. It feels like a real treat to get to be part of a community of all ages. So, okay, Ian, I think you had something.
I'm looking forward to showing off a video game to a bunch of people who will not, who will actually appreciate how bad it is next weekend.
All right. So, and I said you should talk to Will. I think they must have had to go, but Ian was telling me he's next weekend. Well, I'll be
missing Oasis next weekend because at 10 o'clock I'll be going through and playing this hour-long game that's from 1996, and it's not very good from a mechanic standpoint. even if it's a lot of fun to actually play, at least I consider it. And people don't know about it because as it wasn't really advertised. It's from LucasArts, but nobody knows about Mortimer and the Riddles of the Medallion.
Mortimer and the Riddles of the Medallion. Oh, that sounds like a thing in 1996. I was sharing, and Ian unfortunately got to hear my Gen X memories of Oregon Trail. We had a, woohoo. So when I was in 6th grade, our school had one computer, and they had turned like a janitor's closet. They emptied it out, or a storage closet, and had put the one computer in there. And if you were extremely well-behaved and got all your work done early, you could go sit in this very airless closet for 15 minutes and play Oregon Trail on a black screen with green letters, and die about 3 or 4 times in those 15 minutes. So I appreciate old school video games. Cholera, it's real. Warda?
I'm looking forward to the holidays.
Yeah.
This will be my second year in Kansas City, and I know people, and I am really looking forward to even the snow. I'm sorry, I know it's not a popular opinion, but I really like the snow, and I look forward to it again.
Yeah, I like the snow, but not the ice that's underneath it every time here in Kansas City. It's a little different. But yeah, that holidays are something to look forward to. It's, I feel like, a good time to just kind of reset before you take on another new year. Oh, Douglas?
Yeah, it's kind of a good news, bad news situation. I'm
Fair
now
enough.
going to be full-time Honeywell,
Okay.
but it puts me back on second shift. So it's
rough.
it's like being on the moon socially.
I understand that a lot. Yeah, my son is also a second shift worker, so I see him probably at least one weekend a month. He's like, okay, I'll wake up by 2 to come hang out with you instead of sleeping in. Okay. Sarah has had her hand up and down just so she wouldn't leave me hanging with nobody to talk to me.
I am looking forward to fall. I'm looking forward to soup and sweatshirts and not sweating, and all of the and bread. I mean, I have bread all the time, but you know, it's different when you have bread in the fall.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Halloween, all of the fall things.
Oh, Halloween. Who's looking forward to Halloween? Yeah. A little bird told me, it hasn't been in the announcements yet, that we're going to have a Halloween fire pit in the parking lot and hand out candy. So if you don't have somewhere to go on Halloween or don't want to just sit at home by yourself, we will be having Halloween shenanigans here at the community center this year. So it's nice when those stars align. Denise, okay, we're going to move on. So Denise and Jason, I'll just sit up here and talk for however long. Okay. So Denise talked a little bit about the last person you felt inspired by. She talked about some of our friends that went and protested at the Capitol this week regarding the gerrymandering bill that was passed. Does anyone else have anybody inspirational they'd like to talk about, Jason? My new friend.
You'll have to forgive me because I don't remember this individual's name, but there was someone that shares regular discussions on social media, primarily TikTok.
Okay.
It's a gay man that has a very high voice.
Okay.
And he specifically talks about how he falls into a space where people who are very quick to come for individuals in the trans community find him to be a bit confusing because he doesn't fit the parameters of how they would classify a traditional male individual. So they try to put him into a feminine category, but he also does biologically fall into what they would consider a traditional male figure. And so it was inspiring to me to see the way that he's challenging their narrative in a way to really reshape the way that people define how they classify gender roles.
Right.
And I thought it was a really nice way to hear that conversation directed to make people really consider why and how they think about people. And really putting the person first before all these identifiers. I thought it was really great. And I'm happy to share who that person is. I'll just need to look it up on my phone, and I'm trying to be polite.
Fair enough, yeah.
So if anyone has a question about that, I'm happy to look that up after this is
Okay.
over.
Thank you, Jason. All right. I think David has something. Lisa, you're getting your workout in. I know you're fighting allergies, you poor thing.
I'd say it was Jimmy Carter, former President Jimmy Carter, who actually was a Christian. It was despised by the religious right.
Yeah.
And if he were still around, he'd be joining us at Micah Ministry.
There you go. You're 100% right. So I think that's what's interesting about what's happening right now is how a lot of Christians, of course not all, we don't paint with that kind of brush, but a lot of Christians have excused what I would consider as being a former religious person, non-Christ-like behavior and are waving that Christian nationalism flag and finding ways to excuse the things they're doing in the name of their religion and their deity, and it's pretty painful to watch. But we know again that is not a new playbook. The same thing has happened throughout history, and not just in Christianity, but the use of religion to control people the world over and make excuses for hateful behavior. But you're right. I think Jimmy Carter was an example of someone that I have respect for because he did what he said he was going. I mean, he lived the way that he said he was going to. I think everybody has respect for that. Like, if you say this is what you believe in, then do the things you say you believe. Thank you. Aiden.
The last person I was inspired by, you probably know him. He's my father.
Woohoo!
And,
Know that guy?
One of the things, he's always been an encouraging voice in my life. He's, told me to really carve out my own path in life and, not follow any kind of script that our culture may give us. And, one of the things that I kept thinking about is, if you know anything about him, he's had a lifetime of not only being miserable, but also doing a lot of really crazy and stupid stuff. And, that probably translated into, what informed him in his parenting, I imagine.
Yeah.
But, I thought about that as like, you went through a lifetime of really hard stuff. You did a lot of crazy and stupid things that could have really screwed you over. And yet here you are, living comfortably.
There you go. All right, shout out to fellow board member David. We appreciate him, and I especially appreciate him because he likes to tell me no, and he likes me to tell people no, which is not really my love language at all. So sometimes I need a little David saying, "No, Julie, we're not doing that." I'm like, "Okay, fair enough, fair enough." All right, Todd, we haven't heard from you.
I'm sorry.
Todd, I'm so. 3 minutes. Woohoo! We're going to let you say that again in the mic.
Well, yeah, it's people, really, because, you guys came in my life at a time when I didn't really have a group to confide in or to relate to. Goes back to community.
Right.
And I did feel kind of hopeless. And so, a Google search led me here. And, don't believe in fate, however you want to look at that. Thank you. But this, you guys are becoming my relationships and family. And so thank you. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
So I need to burst out of my bubble, as you know, and I am slowly. But I just want to let you know that. So thank you.
Thank you, Todd. We appreciate that. And thank you all for being here. Okay. Denise, we're getting close.
Yeah.
We'll get to the last one. Oh, okay. Make a run.
So this is not one person, but a couple people. One of the most important issues in the world, to me at least, is misinformation and the way people either are taught incorrect things or simply aren't taught things.
Right.
And there are a few people who really inspire me because they work to combat that. Most of them are on YouTube because that's where videos happen.
Sure.
People like Genetically Modified Skeptic or Professor Dave Explains, but most of all is Mini Minuteman, Milo Rossi. He is mostly archaeological conspiracies, which, that's pretty niche, but also most conspiracies just in general. He's a very big advocate for teaching people. He actually spoke at KU recently,
Okay.
which I found out about the day after he was there.
Oh, shoot.
But he puts a lot of work into every one of his videos, makes sure that there's correct information and as much information as he can teach. And just seeing people like him who work to make the world a better, more educated place.
Yeah.
This really gives me hope for the world.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing, Birdie. We appreciate it. And again, back to, one of our shared community values of reality being known through reason. So, yeah, we want to encourage everyone to use their powers of reason and maybe be that inspirational person somebody needs just by your kindness and your acceptance, and you're letting them understand that they're more important to you than their beliefs are, and that your hands are here to help them. All right. So with that, I'm going to skip past this questions slide. Thank you so much for your active participation with me and your patience with our format switch at the last minute. I think next week's program will be a really good one, and one that we have a lot to look forward to for next week. And with that, I will hand it back to you, Elisa.
So, yeah, give yourselves a hand. All right, while our musicians are coming back to the stage, I want to remind everyone that Kansas City Oasis is a 501c3 nonprofit run solely on donations and volunteers. If you liked the topics and music today, please consider donating through kcoasis.org or donate, /donate or by Venmo. Recurring monthly donations are most helpful. And then, without further ado, here are Tom and Jim to play 2 final songs for us today.
While we were in Chicago a little bit ago, we're going to stay there for a minute. There's a guy by the name of Jimmy Rogers, who played also with Muddy Waters. He played guitar. He and Muddy Waters had to teach Little Walter how to keep time because Little Walter couldn't keep time. This is one of Jimmy Rogers, one of my favorites by Jimmy Rogers. It's called That's All Right. Take it from the turn. You told me, baby, once upon a time, you said if I'd be yours, little girl, you'd be mine, but that's all right. I know you don't love me no more, baby, that's all right. Every now and then I wonder, loving you tonight. You told me, baby, your love for me was strong. I woke up this morning, you and all your big words was gone. Now that's all right. I know you got some other man, baby. That's all right. Every now and then I wonder, ooh, loving you to die. Brother Beisman. Now you told me, baby, your love for me was true. Lately I wonder, baby, what's getting wrong with you now? That's all right. I got some outside help I don't need, but it's all right. Every now and then I wonder, every now and then I wonder who's loving you tonight. From Jimmy Rogers, thank you. Several years back, I was involved in a film project with the Kansas City Film Society, a good friend of mine named Fred Andrews. I was asked to write a tune about barbecue and blues. Two subjects that are very near and dear to my heart and my stomach. That's right. So anyway, this is also on my first CD called One Man's Trash. I had the honor of having to record it with my man here, Mr. Jim Beisman, y'all. This tune is called Kansas City's Burning. One, two, three. There's a big, thick cloud hanging over this town. But let me hip you people to what's really going down. From BB's to Bryant's, from LC's to Gates, we got the best damn queue in the United States. Kansas City burning. It's the capital of barbecue. Don't you know that we're smoking everything from ribs to rhythm and blues? But there's this different kind of flame burning late into the night. And our hometown musicians keep it cooking just right. If you dig Bobby Watson's alto or Millie Gilbert's strat, the players here in town got the recipe down pat. Kansas City burning. It's the capital of barbecue. Don't you know that we're smoking everything from ribs to rhythm and blues? Oh, let me work. Capital of barbecue. Don't you know that we're smoking everything from ribs to rhythm and blues? Well, Kansas City burning. It's the capital of barbecue. Don't you know that we're smoking everything from ribs to rhythm and blues? My man Jim Beisman. My name is Tom Trashmouth Baker. You know who you are. We thank you.
Now, I happen to own a harmonica, and I feel so ashamed because I'm like, nothing like that is ever going to come out of that one. Thank you guys so much. All right. Only other things left for us today. Just know that join us for lunch to continue the conversation at Tower Tavern after, of course, we finish all of our little tasks. Next week, our speaker is James Moran from Our Spot KC. Musical guest is Ivory Blue, with community moment from Warda Belkas. And then before we head to lunch, take a few minutes to help clean up. There are many volunteer opportunities, as we said, for Oasis each week. Please see the tasks in the lobby marked Need Help unless you already grabbed one. We want to thank you again. We want to thank again this week's presenters, Julie and Will, and musicians Tom and Jim. And thank you for being here, tuning in online. Also, remember, please help keep this area clean. Pick up your member who decided to sweep the main room, so you'd be helping me out a lot if I didn't have to pick up your stuff. Yeah. And then thank you guys so much.